Joining us in the studio today is Academic Support Specialist Holly Abel. Holly is going to talk to us about the services available in the Learning Commons and how they can help students in the classroom. Holly, tell me a little bit about some of the services that they offer through academic support.
One of the largest services is our Student Success Series workshops that we offer to students. They range on a variety of topics, things like note-taking skills, time management, active reading strategies, dealing with math anxiety, reading comprehension, study skills, and plagiarism, among other topics.
And how often do y'all have those?
We have them monthly. We publish them on the pod, and students can register for them. Some students do them for credit for their prerequisite classes. Others just want to improve, so we welcome anybody to attend. Academic support specialists, sometimes we work with students who have early alerts given by their instructors for concerns about performance in classes. Also, students who just want to meet with someone. They maybe have some concerns about their own personal study skills. We can meet with that student and discuss what's going on and share some strategies to improve.
Or one thing that I think a lot of students don't realize that we offer is counseling for those who are kind of struggling.
Sometimes those needs arise when we are talking to a student. So we also share referrals to other departments. We would refer them to some of the licensed practicing counselors here on campus if we felt that they would benefit from those services.
So tell me a little bit about yourself and kind of how you came to ACC and kind of what your background is and how you got to be an academic support specialist.
I am a former teacher. I was a teacher for 20 years. When I closed to that chapter in my life, I was very geared to stay in education, maybe just take a different angle. So I ventured into higher ed. I came to Alvin Community College back in 2020, and I worked as a testing examiner. So I was a proctor of things like the TSI, departmental exams, all the variety of services, including HESI testing. From there, I also was working a second job because I was part-time here, and that became too much to juggle. So I took a full-time position at Texas A&M Galveston, and I was a academic advisor there as well as an academic coach. My heart has always been at ACC. I maintained a lot of friendships that I established here. My stepdaughter is a student who's enrolled here. And so when a position opened that was my former supervisor's position as an academic coach, I applied for it, and I came back here in January to this role.
So how did your experiences as a teacher kind of channel into what you do now? I mean, do you kind of feel like this is more of a concentrated chance to work with students as opposed to teaching a classroom, and do you enjoy it more than the classroom, or is it just different experiences?
I prefer working with students. My background in education prepared me well for how to identify different learning styles and work with students who have different learning styles. So I bring the viewpoint of being on the other side of the classroom and understanding what are good practices and what might be some areas of improvement. So I think students appreciate that a lot, that I can bring that vantage point.
So you're not just like a student in a program helping them, you know kind of what an educator's looking for.
Yeah, my framework for education, we had to learn a lot about how the brain processes information, and that's information I can share with students.
So what's something that you commonly see in college students that you kind of wish that college students knew when they were starting school?
Time management strategies. That's one of the biggest obstacles from hundreds of students that I've worked with, has been managing their time well. A lot of times students transition from high school into higher education, and they sometimes try to apply study strategies that worked for them in high school, and they don't see the same return on their investment with their study strategies that they used in high school, surfacing in the same kinds of grades that they got in high school. So that's been a wake-up call for a lot of students, working with them to how to study better and more effectively. The biggest thing is catching it early while the grades can be fixed still. Week before finals is not the first time that we should be meeting. And that's where some of our roles for our academic coaches come in as well. We have academic coaches that work with students placed in co-requisite classes, but we are looking in the future to expand their services, especially during the final week of the semesters, where students might be struggling with stress in anticipation of their final exams. Being able to meet with some professional coaches here to share some study strategies and help them have better outcomes for their finals.
Yes, okay, so all these things you just mentioned, they all have their own specific student success workshop that we offer here on a weekly basis. So can students just come in for them, or do they have to sign up for them, or how does it work?
Right now, the academic coaches work with students who are in co-requisite classes. So they schedule their first appointment with an academic coach, and then the academic coach schedules several recurring appointments for them. So depending on the length of the term, it's typically about 4 to 5 additional appointments with an academic coach, and they are regularly scheduled one-on-one appointments. Academic support specialists can meet with other students who may not be co-enrolled in a co-requisite class, who might benefit or feel that they are struggling somewhat, and can make an appointment with one of the 2 academic support specialists here on campus, where we can discuss what's going on and help them troubleshoot and solve problems.
Thank you for coming to talk to me today. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening. For more information about academic support, please visit the pod. To read about these stories and more, visit allencollege.edu.